And we are live. I feel like I'm so excited for this today.
So excited. We're back. It's like we've been on this vacation we didn't know we were going to go on, but we both needed and it worked out great.
I know it was funny because we're on very different parts right now of the whole entire world here, and it's really funny because it's like last week you were like, yeah, I kind of need a break, this is what I'm feeling. I'm like, good, because I do too, even though I felt bad because I know people wanted us to be live. But I was like, yeah, so it's cool, it's divinely led at this moment in time, and here I am. Hi, Heather. Here I am, here you are, and I'm actually really excited to be here today. So what are we going to
Yeah,
talk about, Mandee?
I'm excited to be here too. Well, first, we're going to talk about you a little bit. You just went through a massive, amazing change, and all of us have been holding space for you, and you are now officially relocated to California. There's been a couple hiccups, there's been a couple energies that have risen at this time that I think would be fun to shed some light on because you're probably not the only one going through it.
It's nutshell right there.
So
Hello,
first thing
Jennifer.
that happened, yes. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Heather. We're so happy you guys are here. The
Um,
first thing that, oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say we also have to mention your shirt because you have your shirt, your Mandee shirt.
I finally have my Mandee shirt that Tracy made me. I'm so excited. The Mandee on the back, it says, let's see. Let me see it. Together we
To,
create.
together we create. I absolutely love it.
So
And
that's pretty cool.
thank
Um,
you, Andrea. I love Keller, and it's funny because I posted on TikTok that I had moved to Modesto, and everybody's like, "What the hell did you move to Modesto for? Like, that's the worst place ever." And I'm like, I don't see it yet. It is culturally very different from Michigan. It really is, but I think it's different in I think it's very similar, but also different in different ways, I guess, is how I'm going to say that, because I don't know, I feel like the one thing here is that I've noticed is that everybody seems to be very completely separate in their own mentality. And so I feel like, how am I going to say this? In Michigan, I think there's more of a codependency. You have your things, you have your tribe kind of, and how people stick together and they have that group mentality. Here, you have everything. It's like salt, pepper, cayenne. You have all these different spices all living together. And so it's kind of hard to pick up on the energies when you're out and about because everybody's so very different to themselves. And so before we started talking live, I talked about my ADD or my ADHD, and it is really throwing me for a loop because I have all these things around me that I don't know how to interpret, and I'm used to being able to interpret very well, and I think I'm very overwhelmed with the process so far. And so I'm trying. I'm here. But it's a crazy roller coaster ride for me. And then there's also other stuff that's happening because Spirit's like, Crystal, you don't need your shit. You just need a room and a chair and a tripod. You're good. We're good. We don't need anything else. So there's a learning curve that's taking place for me right now that I was not expecting. And so I'm dealing with it.
I find it so juicy, and I'm so grateful that you're walking through it and you're handling the storms. And I see that Tracy is here. I'm so excited you're here. Did you get to see me do the reveal? I showed the backside. We're so grateful that you are such a support to us and such an amazing
I love
human.
her.
Thank you so much for sending us these because they're awesome, and I'm really excited about it. But back to Crystal. So we've been on vacation a little bit here the past month as Crystal moved to California and I was on spring break, and there's been a lot of restructuring going on at Sea Goddess. And so we had a little bit of a break that we didn't know we were going to have, but it ended up being so beautiful for both of us. And I'm sure a lot of you have been feeling some wild energies. We're pre-eclipse season right now. We had a really intense full moon per usual, but this one was definitely kind of watery and shadowy. Our astrologist at Sea Goddess, Ursula, she in her article this past month described it as like the movies like What Dreams May Come or Vanilla Sky, and feeling fractally
Oh,
in and out.
you just got me with What Dreams May Come. That is so right. That is so accurate, Ursula. feel like, first off, I'm sorry I don't read these things that I did not know existed until Mandee just said them. I am now going to make sure that I'm reading these so you can keep up with me and my energy, like keep me on track with what things are going. Because if I would have known that prior to the full moon, I probably would have slid into it a little bit safer than I did. But no, no, no. Crystal was in a corner crying that day because she had just had it with life. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on with me. And you saying that, it's like, okay, what dreams may come. That's such a perfect, that's perfect. Ursula, you are on fire, my dear.
And the cool thing about it too, though, is like it's all divine. Like you weren't meant to have that information because you were meant to purge, and now you can like have that to reflect and to understand and to tune in. So it happened for a lot of us, and it was crazy and wishy-washy. And each month, See Goddess Healing Arts, we put out a soul broadcast. So we actually have a new one coming out. The theme is going to be April showers bring May flowers, and that's either tonight or tomorrow. So if you're not on our email list, we would love for you to subscribe. SeeGoddessHealingArts.com. Hop on there, give us a like, a share, a follow, and each month, each of the people who contribute to See Goddess Healing Arts send out like a little bit of an article or a link to a show or something that's going to support you and the energies that are happening. And Ursula often writes a lot about what's going on astrologically. And then you can also follow her on Ursa Alchemy. She has a blog post that she sends out with full moons and new moons. There she is. Ursa's here. She's tuning in. We're talking all about you. If you're just tuning in, Ursula, because Crystal really resonated with the what dreams may come energy and the fractaliness of what's happening. And so if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, because we love to keep in touch, and we have all these awesome resources that'll help you understand what the heck is going on right now. So that was one of them, right?
Yes. And it's funny. I'm going to just little bit. What Dreams May Come apparently is a spiritual genius of a movie, because I also use that when talking about people who have crossed over due to self-harm. And because it's a perfect, beautiful understanding of some of the trauma, the internal trauma, the mental trauma that people can kind of get stuck in that in between. That essentially is purgatory, but it's not purgatory that we're put in to keep us punished. It's purgatory we kind of put ourselves in with our own thoughts, our own feelings, and our own self-reflections. And it's very crazy to me how much the spirit world is really our own world. And so you don't have to be dead just to experience these things. We deal with these things every single day. And I don't know, it's so beautiful that you guys brought up What Dreams May Come, because it's just such a beautiful movie in all aspects of what you go through on a human level, a spiritual level sometimes. And it's tragic, yes, but it's also a very good teaching tool. So I love that.
Well, so is life. I was talking about this with a client earlier, and several times actually. It's like we are on these beautiful, amazing soul journeys. And this, for what I'm shown and what I believe, like this is one lifetime in our huge book of lifetimes. And so what happens is, even if we do manifest all the things we want, we're completely healthy, we've got the perfect partner, we've got the perfect house, like all the things, the perfect career, life still happens. Like we all have divine time here. It's all limited. You never know when you're coming or going. It's this beautiful, amazing, true gift of presence and being in the present moment. And no matter what relationship it is, it's still temporary. It's still going to end at some point. And so I really like the idea of things being able to call us back to our presence and to this moment in time, because that's all we actually really have when it comes down to it. We're never going to have this perfect moment we might have a couple moments of like kind of zero balance and some, amazing chapters, but they're still it's about how we show up for the real life stuff and how we choose to respond to it.
Yeah, there's so much going on right now. Boy, I feel like we could have like a 10-hour talk today about stuff.
I know.
I was like, it's so funny because like everything we're talking about, there's a lot going on. There's, the stuff that's happening like all over, what I talked about in the move, and me being more ADHD than what I actually thought, which are diagnoses that, I have been provided. And the overstimulation with the move. The triggers that are coming to the surface for people, I would love to say that I'm speaking to clients. I'm not. I'm just talking about my own freaking triggers right now. I'm talking about Crystal's life. The Johnny Depp case, the Amber Heard situation, which I'm trying to stay
so
away
much
from.
to talk about there. Why?
Right. But I'm so triggered by all of it on both
Mm.
ends of the spectrum because of my, first off, Crystal,
Yep.
I am a one healing woman who was very much Amber Heard. Okay, no, I never cut anybody's fingers off. But at the same time, I was my own toxic person because I was unhealed, and so I projected all of my issues and traumas and dramas onto everybody else because I wanted them to be molded into this person, this human around me, and be perfect and march
I'm
in that
so
order. And
bowing to you. I was her at one point. So many of us were. And if so many people, like, if we could take this opportunity to look at the rawness of this whole situation and see how everybody has been responsible in their own ways on some level or another, like, it's real opportunity to do some shadow work here and to take a look at things for all of us.
like,
Just have
and you know,
relationships as humans.
it's crazy because I talk about my first marriage with my first husband, who was it was a domestic situation. It really was. It was mentally, emotionally, and physically abusive. And people kind of look at me like I'm a little bit nuts in how I talk about that. And I think it's because they don't think that I have the reactions that you would expect for somebody. I don't claim to be some people are like, oh, I'm a victim. I'm not a victim of that situation because he was just as much a victim of me as I was of him, because I knew how to push and poke every single trauma that man had and cause that eruption in him. And that literally was the up and down of our situation. That was our marriage. That, I think, was what kept us going in that marriage for so long. We were addicted to the traumas, the dramas, and the cycles being repeated because that's all we ever knew, essentially, in relationships.
Right?
And it was like, I left him and I was like, oh, he was this and he was so bad. And then, like, fast forward to Crystal's journey in spirit, and then I was like sinking in my seat going, oh, lady, like, you really were such a contributor to what that was. And so, yeah, I'm triggered all over the place, and I'm triggered for Ben and his situation and what he just went through. And I can't watch it because every time I see her in her face, it reminds me of the court case that he just went through, and it triggers me in that. So it's like this whole thing that's just like craziness. And I'm seeing so many people on many different ends of the spectrum. And also, it's proving that we're all drama addicts. Okay, let's take a moment here, America. Other people's issues and problems, not our problem. And we're just wanting it so much. Everyday people are tuning in and they've got to know what's happening. This isn't our life. It's not our effing business. And it's probably a moment for us to really digest why we need that drama in our lives to silence us, essentially, from dealing with our own issues and problems. And that was something that I have learned over the years also. I make jokes about it, about me being a drama actor. Like, hey, I'm 3 months sober from the last time I have been in the midst of drama. But it's true. And we have to understand that, because once we separate ourselves from other people's nonsense, we really start to focus on ourselves. And in those modes of quiet, we really learn to grow ourselves and really reflect and digest on just how much we ourselves have to work on, I guess. And so it's really funny how all this nonsense is coming to the surface right now in so many different ways. And I'm like, woo, I would like it to stop. Like, the train can slow down a little bit, but also at the same time, it's happening for a reason. And so who the heck is Crystal to say, I can't anymore? I can't. It's a lot coming in from all aspects all over the world. So it's interesting to see how it's playing out around us and what that means for ourselves too.
At the very least, it is incredibly interesting. And thank you for sharing all of that, because that's not easy. And, we always talk about how triggers are opportunities to heal often. And there is a time and a space where you can say, okay, I'm overwhelmed, I'm overstimulated, just like Crystal said, and it's okay to take a step back. But what happened was you didn't have a choice. That trigger showed up, and you've used all this time to reflect and think and be like, oh my gosh, I was her and this and that, and be able to, like, be honest. So, like, thank you so much for being vulnerable and sharing that experience with all of us.
Like, be nicer to yourself so you're nicer to people, I guess is really what it comes down to. We can't do better till we know better. And so I think both of them were victims
I do too.
Of domestic violence. I don't think it's just Johnny. I think both of them, because if you see him reacting in those moments, that's also very toxic as well. We can't ignore those things. They're both pretty toxic people, and together they were an atom bomb, just waiting to happen. And so we have to kind of look at it and be nice to both of them. I think both of them need help, and best to separate and just stay away from each other. My personal perspective on that matter, but it comes from somebody who's kind of lived both aspects of it. And you said you wanted to go to comments, so we are going to go to comments, because we have a lot of beautiful people. So we have Jennifer.
Awesome.
And you know what? I'm going to let you read them, because I have a glare because of the way I'm sitting. Can you see the comments,
Sure.
Mandee?
Yeah, no problem. I'm going to start at the top. Hello,
Okay.
Heather and Jennifer. Andrea, welcome. We're so happy that you're here. Tracy, again, thank you. Tracy made our amazing shirts. Crystal doesn't have hers yet. We'll get to that. Well, she does, but it's in holding with some other things. And then I just got mine, and I'm really excited and grateful for it. Hi, Sophia. So happy that you're here. I'm scrolling again here. Here we go. Andrea, Whitney, Kevin, what's up? Kevin and I keep running into each other synchronistically, so it's pretty cool. So glad you're here. What's up, Ursula? Thank you again for all of your contributions and knowledge about the energy going on. And if you have anything else that you want us to know, Ursula, or want us to share, go ahead and type it in and let us know. Tracy said, God, I miss you all. I'm literally having the chills and I am all emotional. I need my weekly dose. No more breaks. Laugh out loud. JK. Yeah. Spirit just tells us when we need a break. So that's how that goes. But we missed you all, and we're really happy we're here too. Heather said same. Heather, we're sending you big love. I know you've been going through a lot. Do you want to say something, Crystal?
No, I was just going to say Heather has been going through it too in different ways. And I am so sorry that she is going through all the stuff that she's going through. It can't be easy for her either. So she's going through so much.
I know. Well, everybody just take a breath. Like that's the most right now with this energy. No doubt about it. Jennifer just killing it. Trauma responses, playing off trauma responses. Fire. Love yourself accountability. The shirt looks great. Awesome. Yes, so excited you guys are here. Hi, Sheila. Sheila jumped on too. Welcome. So right now, the next thing we're going to talk about, because Crystal just moved to California and something happened, another trigger that she didn't want to have to deal with, but she did have to deal with. All of her stuff got put in hold for like a month, pretty much, right?
Or more. We found out today they haven't even left Michigan yet with our stuff. So we're like, okay. So I don't know. I feel like, okay, and we have all you beautiful spiritual people working with this, as I have went through my triggers, as we've called those. I feel personally, like I talked to you a little bit, I think they're trying to take me like and uproot me. Essentially, I'm a plant right now, and they're trying to find out like where to pop me, but also keep me a little bit like, free, and keep me a little bit like disconnected from the things that were, I guess, my comforts in life. And I think they're trying to do that because what I'm asking for in my journey is to get out there and be a part of other people's lives, so much so I really don't want to be home. I really don't. I want to have a place that I can like lay my head when I'm here, that will be a sanctuary to call home in my off places. But I really want to grow a space where I'm able to travel and help people on the road. And if I can't be stimulated in other places without being so, I don't know, taken aback by my surroundings, it's almost like I feel like that goes hand in hand with me being the empath on steroids that I am, if that makes any sense. And I kind of think that goes hand in hand also because I believe that my gifts are a reflection of that ADHD that we talk about. I believe that that's a reflection of those things, just like, depression, anxiety, all those things go hand in hand with people who are very interpretive of spirit. And I do believe fully that I'm starting to realize some of what people deal with outside of myself, like what my clients bring to me a little bit, which I dealt with before. And I got it under control before, but it was under controlled circumstances, if that makes sense. This is not a controlled circumstance. I have absolutely no clue what's going on with my life at all. I literally, they've taken me out of the knowing of anything. There's no updates. At this point, I just feel like my stuff has been stolen by Nazi pirates and I'm never getting it back. And so I'm looking at it, it's like literally a fresh start and I have no clue what's up. And I have to be okay with that. But then there's like all these other energies that are coming at me and I'm really on this mental emotional roller coaster. But also at the same time, I think it's really for the best thing ever, because I really believe fully that if I want what I say I want, I have to be comfortable going into different locations and not having that take me so off kilter that I can't focus on spirit. If this is going to upset me so much that I can't focus on the energies around me and tap into those energies around me, then I'm screwed. I'm never going to be able to do what I asked them to do for me.
Welcome to the gauntlet.
This is a test. It's like a test of strength and understanding and how much do you want it. And you know what? Who the F cares if my washer and dryer ever show up? We have washing machines that we're using down the road. It is what it is. I can probably buy one of those weird ones on Amazon to hook up to your faucet for $100. It'll be what it's going to be, but I have to start learning how to process things a little bit differently when I'm feeling bombarded. And I have to learn to remember to practice what I preach and take those breaths. And stop being so overwhelmed and making it all about crystal, because really it's not all about crystal. It's just clothes. I have clothes that I packed a suitcase. So I have clothes. I have the necessities. I have the things that I need. I just don't have all those weird things that I've accumulated, over the years that I want. And I think that has to do with the direction in life that I've asked them to take me on. And so I think they're like, all right, girl, this is what you say you want. This is what we're going to give to you. And poof, life test.
I think you are totally right. Somebody commented and asked if we were doing readings tonight, and we are. So if anybody has any questions, I'm definitely down. And I want to pull Crystal a card to start, because this is the thing. Sometimes we do get put in a holding zone. And I remember I was working as a social worker in Colorado, actually, and I learned this from a coworker of mine. And she said, anybody can move at any time. People are attached to their stuff. And I was like, ooh, like spotlight, mirror on me. Cause I had a bunch of shit then and I was moving all around the country. And when I left Colorado, I ended up giving away like all of my stuff to like my clients. Cause I'm like, I am so attached to all of this. And the times where I was without my stuff, where I was in transition, I found myself a lot of the time. And when it comes down to it, what do you need? In every moment, you just need you. You need your heart, your mind, your soul, your health. All the other things are just extensions. They can bring us comfort. They can bring us peace. They can bring us joy. They can also hold energy. Like if we have a bad day, we're crying into a pillow all the time, like it might turn into a sad pillow. Like we got to cleanse that. We got to release some stuff. And so I feel like when these sort of things happen and we get put in these holding zones, if you will, with just ourself, it's to cleanse out and clear out our energy and to tune our compass in to ourself without the static of all the other stuff around us and responsibility. And right now you can literally focus on your roots, on grounding in, on being there for yourself while you're waiting for all of that to come. And I just really want to pull you a card, actually, which I actually never really do for Crystal, which is fun for Crystal. The Courageous Peony. Multifaceted, unique in nature, let yourself be seen. You're literally, the reason this is happening, it's the stripping away so that you can tune into who you truly and authentically are and allow all the layers of yourself to just be seen, be heard, and be recalibrated, most importantly. Yay.
Spirit speaks, man.
We're going to hop back into some comments here, see what's going on with everyone. Awesome. Heather said, thank you so much. I've been trying to work on breathing and trying to get to a new sense of normal. Heather, if you'd like me to pull you a card or if you have any questions for Crystal, let us know. Drop it in the comments. Sophia said, who needs stuff with a funny face? And it's true. The other cool thing about it is stuff comes and goes. Like, it's so fascinating how when you let go of something and how exactly what you need shows up at the perfect time, and sometimes even better if we allow ourselves to trust in that, which is really cool. Angelica asked if we're doing some readings. We are. Jennifer said, yes, it has been. I'm so happy to see you guys. This is a great Monday. Tracy, oh, thanks, Jennifer. Tracy said, I've been so excited to share with you ladies. I've been invited to join a friend of mine at their spa to start taking clients for Reiki sessions. Congratulations, Tracy. I'm so nervous, but I know what I need and want to do. Send good vibes. I start taking clients in May. Congratulations. Oh, that's so exciting. The cool thing about Reiki too is I encourage people to start there a lot of the time, because the neat thing about it is it's just about kind of getting present and grounding in and allowing the energy to come through you. And you don't have to direct it or guide it. You just have to hold it and allow it to do what it needs to do. A lot of times I'll just be doing it, and it's fun because I do so many readings, as you guys know, and I do one-on-one sessions. Actually, if you're tuning in and you're wanting a reading soon too, I'm doing 50% off all of my services this week, especially for this crew. So all you have to do is go to my website, seagoddesshealingarts.com, and book with Mandee, and all my services. If you type in the coupon code for Mandee Live, you get 50% off. So that's the coupon code, Mandee Live. And I'll put that back out there as a reminder. So what I encourage with Reiki is, the neat thing is, so one time, like, I was doing Reiki and, I'm just being present, and you don't have to pass the messages along at that time. You can, some things might drop in, but the neat thing about it was, like, I went for, like, this one person I was working on had a brain tumor at the time. And so, like, naturally I kind of thought, like, oh, all the energy will probably, mostly go there, or this is what they'll experience. And then when we came out, he goes, the whole time I felt like there was surgery going on in my knee. And I'm like, what? He's like, I felt all this energy. It felt like there was, like, tingles and springs and knocks, and, like, I had no idea what was happening, and I was just kind of holding the space and hanging out, and it was cool. But apparently he had all these knee injuries I never knew about, and all kinds of stuff that it was coming in to get healed on. So Reiki is really cool, and it does what it's supposed to do, and it's really nice to just allow yourself to be there. And the healing happens as we allow the healing to happen through us. So as we just show up and stay present, wonderful things will happen. So we're sending you the love and the luck and all the blessings, Tracy.
She's come a long way in such a very short period of time.
Yeah.
Like, so short. That's literally like, it's one of those beautiful things. Like, when you see people where they start, when we started doing lives and she started coming on, and then you see her now, that's literally a couple months. Holy crap, Tracy. Can you, like, give yourself a pat on the back, like, throw yourself a little, like, surprise I showed up for myself party? Because good golly, Miss Molly, you've done amazing things in such a short period of time, and I'm proud of you. I know Mandee's proud of you, but you should super be proud of yourself. So take a moment to breathe that in and just look at yourself and be like, holy crap, look at what I've done. You've done so good. So good.
Yeah. Sheila commented and said, too much stuff bogs down your life. 50 years ago, I owned it all, fit in my car, including my dog, and I miss that. Yeah.
See, in a perfect world, I say stuff like, I would love to just live in a van. I've talked to Ben about, like, buying a bus and, like, renovating it. So we don't have a home. We have a home that goes and travels. And that's what I'm saying. I talk a big game about this stuff, and I thought I was a minimalist because I don't own a lot of stuff until I started packing my stuff up. And then I was like, holy crap, Crystal, what are you ever going to need this for? And I kind of did what you did. I was like, called people. I was like, if you need stuff, come and get it. You can have it all, because I don't really need it. I don't want it. And for what, like I said, I don't know, for what I need, for what I want, it's just not very valuable to me at this moment in time. And I'm grateful to have this beautiful home, because it's a beautiful home. It's brand new, and I'm grateful for it. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like it's kind of a stopping ground for a minute to really decide what it is that we want going forward from here. And I don't know. I'm building bigger things for myself. I love Ben, and I love him as my husband, and I love my son, but I don't want to see his face every day in the future, because I want to see your guys' faces. So I want to hit the road, and I want to go to your house and help you learn how to communicate with the spirit in your house and understand what's going on in the spirit in you. And I can't do that from home. So I get what's happening. It's just all like,
well, I will definitely fly out on some spirit road trips with you and go on tour to people's houses. That would be fun.
Wouldn't that be fun? Like a taco truck, but like a Reiki truck?
Reiki's and readings and house blessings
like,
are my.
that would be so fun. I don't know. See, that's where my mind goes. Like, we don't sell tacos, we sell Rickies, and you can pay for them this way. So I think that would be super cool. I would love that.
I think that's awesome. Jennifer says, congratulations. That's awesome to Tracy. Heather said, congratulations. And Tracy said that she's so excited. She just needs to have as much faith in herself as everyone else does. And let's see. Sophia said, becoming minimalist was an amazing thing for me. Perspective gained for sure. I agree. I got inspired on Netflix. There's a few different documentaries, The Minimalists, which is cool because for a lot of reasons, but they teach you different stuff. And I'm pretty sure in that one they show you the heat map of where most people spend time in their home, and it's almost always around the kitchen and in their beds. And the rest of the space is often like empty or not used. And they teach you all kinds of different tricks and how to minimalize more and how it opens up your energy. Another fun thing to really look at when you're doing all the work, when you're practicing stuff. Actually, this is kind of a fun story. When you're practicing things and nothing's working and you're feeling stuck, one of the tools that you could really work with that helps a lot of the time is like feng shui and moving things with energy and putting your actual physical items in certain places and stuff. So one day, like I was messing around a few weeks ago and I rearranged my room and I moved my bed because I had my bed up against the wall for a long time because I didn't like need a lot of room and stuff. And they said if you move it like away from the wall, it opens up room for like a partner. And then they told me all this stuff about how to arrange like my office space. And like, so I redid my desk, and I shit you not, like hours later, I get 3 different clients contacted me that I hadn't heard from in over a year. That they were like, oh, I've just been so busy. Like, oh, I I want to like book some sessions. And I'm like, okay, well, that moved some energy with my desk. And then a guy who I never even actually went out with, but I had talked to for a long time, hit me up randomly and was like, how's it going? I've been thinking about you. Sorry, I never contacted you like a couple years ago, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, this is so interesting. And as soon as I started moving the energy, other things outside my life started to happen. And so if you're someone who's doing the work, who's showing up and you're like, I don't know what's going on, but I need something to shift. Think about getting rid of some things. Think about rearranging your space. Do a little research on feng shui and what that's all about, because it really will make a difference if you allow it to. And I didn't think, I was just around. I was just messing around being like, all right, well, I'm listening to this talk and why not? And it started with my desk because I wanted to bring in more work. And then I ended up rearranging everything and I ended up moving my bed, and that cracked me up. So you never know what could happen. And so that is a great, resource is Minimalists on Netflix, as well as Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. She teaches you how to release things with joy and how to only keep things in your life that bring you joy, which is really important for happy, healthy energy space. Christy says, hello. Heather says, Crystal, you got this too, girl. Remember to breathe and things will get better. Lots of love sent your way. Jennifer says, go, Mandee, go. And Tracy also says, don't worry, Crystal. If needed, I'll make you another shirt. I know that's your main concern. Laugh out loud. That's hilarious.
I do love the shirt. We talked about it. I kind of want a t-shirt and a tank top. So yeah, we'll talk.
Heather said that she would love a card, and she's always open to hear if Crystal has anything to say. I pulled a few for you, Heather. I went with the angel deck just because Heather has had a lot of transition recently, and she has a lot of people on her angel team, and she's also very connected with the angels. So I pulled a few for you. Your first one was to express your creativity. They're actually showing, I'm seeing a lot of writing coming in for you at this time. If you can find some time to journal, or even just voice record or memo some things that are going on. They're showing actually like some cute, soft like poems and rhymes and different things coming in that really help to soothe you and maybe help you to take a few moments to yourself right now while everything's so crazy and let yourself get creative. They're showing a lot of color, a lot of inspiration, and that it's okay. It's like a healthy distraction. They're showing connect with music. They're also showing your actual angels, particularly some recent ones, are sending you songs in particular. And then sometimes things are just kind of popping into your head, and that's happening for you right now to rock you, to soothe you, to help you move from moment to moment while you're moving through all this grief at this time. And last but not least, move your body. This can be one, like we talked about, rearranging, getting rid of things, feng shui, things like that. This also could do, I'm just seeing you out on some like really nice meditative nature walks at this time and letting yourself release. And if you find yourself, getting angry or upset, like that is okay. Literally, this is for everyone. Go throw rocks, punch a pillow, scream into it. Do what you need to do to emote energy and frustration. And like, there's been a lot of down, Heather, and there's going to be this boomerang of like up energy coming for you. And you're going to be surprised at like how much energy is kind of coming through you soon. So they're saying when that comes, enjoy it, harness it, and allow it to move through you because it's happening for you. And though things have been hard lately, wonderful things really are to come. And you have such a beautiful heart and you're full of love, and they want you to know you're so supported at this time.
I'm just gonna say Grandpa's here. I was like, there's Grandpa coming through, but I don't necessarily know that I want to give her things here because I don't know that it's the right place for her. So I'll give you just like this when it comes to Grandpa. He's actually giving a hug, and he is giving me phlegm in my chest. He's almost making me feel like he could not speak or communicate because of some of the things going on prior to his passing. But there's also division with people right now, and they're making me feel as though that you specifically are a little bit frustrated with some of the division that's taking place with some of the things around you. However, he's actually giving elevation and love when he comes to the division that's taking place in your life right now. And it's not for bad reasons. And I know that's like kind of hard for us to digest. Grandpa's a funny guy. I am going to tell you that. He's a good guy. He's got great old school sense of humor here. He's kind of like the old sailor man, but with a lot of love. And he's really making me feel like it's got a lot. Like I said, there's a lot that I could say right now, but I don't know if I want to in this setting because I just don't think that. I don't think that anybody saw some of the things that have happened over the past 6 months coming at all. And we're not talking about just the passings that have taken place. We all know, if we know you, this is not validation. There's been a lot of passings that have taken place around you. But he's giving to me a lot of the things that have accumulated and happened after the passing, such as some of the stuff that we talk about stuff today. Well, we're going to talk about stuff is what he's saying, because there's a lot of stuff involved here where some of these people may not have really had a whole lot to their name, so to speak, when they crossed over. But it's almost like the division of property that's taking place is very like weird, and it's very unsided, and it's kind of being juggled, which means to me that like, I really want to say that I'm commending you because I feel like you just want everything to be over with right now. He's making me feel like you're kind of one of the only, it's like sign, seal, deliver, poof, get it out of my way. I just don't want to deal with any of this nonsense at all. And he's really making me feel like he's there for your frustration. And I really think that you have to listen to Mandee here, because it's almost like right now there's this wall that's happening in front of you because you're a little bit numb. So to be said for all the things that you've gone through. And how do you get through one person's passing and start to move through that when you've had 6 others take place in the course of a very short period of time? You've had a lot dumped on you in a very small period of time. And he's just making me feel like it's almost like that trauma that you've experienced in the past from other things are surfacing because of some of the things that have happened and some of the people who have passed. And so it's almost like it's dredging up these things from the depths of your soul that you didn't even know that you were going to have to deal with. And so your way of coping with it essentially is to kind of shut down in the moment, because we're dealing with so much we don't want to deal with it at all. And so like the Energizer Bunny, you've ran out of batteries and you're shutting yourself down, which is okay, by the way. They're not saying that it's not okay. But he's also making me feel as though, good God Almighty, this man is going to push you. Heather, he's going to push you. And he's making me feel like he was your pusher in life. He's literally making me feel like he was somebody who kept you going a lot in life. And so he's kind of not going to allow his passing to allow you to stay stagnant for too long, essentially, is what he's making me feel. And he's making me feel like you want to be stagnant right now. You've kind of got your heels stuck in the dirt and your heels stuck in the mud. And you're like, I'm not moving. I'm done. I'm sick of this. This is bullshit. And I don't want to deal with my life anymore. I've dealt with this person's issues. I've dealt with this person's stuff. I've dealt with this passing, this passing, this passing. And you're just done. And he's like, yeah, okay. He commends you. He gets it. He sees it. He understands it. But he is making me feel like this is not going to be it in this moment. And so I think just like me, you need to take a really deep breath and understand that sometimes spirit pushes people a lot. And some of us get pushed a little bit more than what we think we're ready to be pushed. And even though you might not feel like you're ready to open that next door that's sitting right there, open for you, a crack, he's making me feel like he is done pulling on that doorknob and trying to force it open for you so you can start to see some of the beauty that resides on the outside of that. Because the first part of your life was really deep. There was a lot of trauma. There was a lot of hardships. There were a lot of things. And sometimes, and this is where I'm going to say, this is going to sound so heartless, guys, and I don't mean it to come out that way. Sometimes, unfortunately, certain doors have to shut. Some people have to cross for us to fully open up to who we are as people. Because even me, I don't feel safe telling my story because there are certain people who are alive. And I know as soon as I start opening my mouth and I start digesting some of these things for other people, it's not going to go over very well. And it's just not something I want to deal with. And he's almost making me feel like you're kind of reflecting a little bit in your life, a little bit the same similar type of way in that aspect, that you didn't feel safe to communicate. You didn't feel safe to have some of these conversations. And he's here for the conversations. And he's making me feel like, just like in life, I think he was a dad to you. And he's making me feel like on the other side, he's also going to be dad. And sometimes parents have to stand up and be like, buck up, buttercup, let's get this shit done. And that's kind of the mindset that he's at right now. And that's why I said he's a little bit more of an old school type guy, where he's got empathy. He's got a lot of love. He's a very wise man filled with wisdom. But at the end of the day, he also sees your worth. And he doesn't want you to dull your shine because of all of the things that have happened and snowballed out of your control. He's really wanting that snowball to break up because it's kind of accumulated too heavy for you. And he's trying to melt that snow around you so you can feel free and fresh and essentially wake up with this new spring energy that we've got going on. And he really wants you to know and understand that he's here for that. So be patient with yourself, but don't be frustrated when you feel like somebody's pushing and pushing and pushing, because he is. So just know that's probably why you're feeling that behind you a little bit. Sorry, not sorry.
Heather gave you a lot of confirmation. She said, like, bullseye. She said, oh my God, you said Sailor Man. He pretended to be Popeye. She said, thank us both. She thought about having a rage room, and that she also did a lot of spring cleaning, and it totally helped her mood.
Oh, no, that makes me feel better. Well, it makes me feel better. He's very blunt, Heather. And I was trying really hard to give these messages in a loving way because the man is very blunt and it didn't come through that way. And so it's kind of like, what do I say? What do I not say? But I absolutely, he's a good human. He's a good human and he loves you. He's here for you. So yeah, I'll put it that way.
Awesome. Sending love, Heather. Andrea said, would love to know the number one thing my spiritual team wants me to know right now. I have felt stuck forevermore. What is stopping the progress? Ugh. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited you tuned in tonight. If you subscribe to our newsletter at Sea Goddess Healing Arts, we're doing a whole news broadcast thing on cleansing right now and like getting unstuck. So hopefully some of those things will help you. But I'm also going to pull you a couple cards, Andrea. For Andrea. All right. So, number one, you got trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? They're showing actually a lot of times you get intuitive hits, Andrea. It comes right in. They're like, you know what you want to do, when you want to do it, or the answer, and then you second guess and you question yourself and you go back, and it's hard to totally trust what's coming in intuitively at this time. And it's been like this for a little while, but they're saying it's safe enough to. It's safe enough to push forward. It's safe enough to start trusting that and allow yourself to move on the impulses that are coming through a little bit without questioning it too much. Of course, use discernment. but it's important to know that you can trust it and that it's okay to move forward. They're also showing keepers of the earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. So here's your team showing up, being there for you at this time. They want you to know you can pray upon them, that you are not alone and that they are with you at all times. And it's important to ask for their help, ask for their guidance, ask for their love, ask for them to send you a sign. Whether it's big or small, they will be there for you. And the last thing that you need to know to get unstuck is to play. Have more fun, celebrate, and don't be so serious. It comes back to that right now. They're showing you're so heart-centered and you are trying really hard, and you can be organized and really productive and bang some stuff out. But they're showing you don't always take the time to come back and to enjoy play and to allow yourself to truly play and like be present and like let yourself laugh, let yourself feel like fun, exciting energy moving through, even if it's just dancing, because there's been a lot of shift moving and happening. So take some time, celebrate in whatever way that looks like for you. And what happens is when we shift our energy, when we do that, when we're feeling stuck and stagnant, and we either maybe go out and have fun with friends, or right now have a Zoom date with friends, or if we go out dancing or even volunteering, what happens is then we come back, it shifts our energy, it cleanses it out, and it helps us to move into a new and different perspective. And they're showing for you, for your medicine, it really involves things that spark joy in your heart at this time. Once you do that, the unstuckness will start happening. You'll start moving, you'll start flowing, and they're showing that the progress is just trying a little, though what's stopping it is you just been trying a little too hard, and you just got to let yourself off the hook. And it's really going to be this subtle balance, and you're going to start flowing again. So thanks for asking, Andrea.
I was like, your guides are like, hey, we're here right now. Timeline of events, my dear. You were really funny. You're very intuitive. You're very smart. You're very intelligent. And they're really making me feel like you yourself have a lot of gifts that I think you know. They're making me feel like you know. You've tapped into those, and they're almost making me feel like how you did this was like you jumped all in at one point in time, and then it probably got very overwhelming for you. And then you were like, whoa, don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. Because when we channel sometimes, it's very difficult. Like what I said in the beginning, ADHD, okay? I'm an empath on steroids. And so when I'm receiving energy, sometimes it comes in so fast from all around me in all these different ways. It's very difficult for me to decipher. Why? Because my brain has a really hard time in that moment staying grounded. And it's like the overwhelming factor of what's coming in. I mentally, instead of focusing, grounding, breathing in that moment and staying in my space and literally like breaking down each and everything that I'm experiencing, what I do instead is I interpret too fast and it becomes anxiety. Okay. And so with that anxiety, I don't receive anything. I just receive anxiety. I just receive like all of this craziness coming at me, and then it overwhelms me. And they're really making me feel like sometimes you, because of your empathic abilities, get very, very highly sensitively overwhelmed with the process of how things are kind of coming at you. And so it causes you to slow down, pull back, and essentially stop yourself. And so when they do the timeline of events for me, that means that you have a lot of things that you're trying to currently manifest. You have a laundry list of things that you want for yourself, your family, and the people that you love right now. And that's not wrong of you. It's just taking a little bit more time because you don't know what you want first. They're giving you the look, like they're like, hey, you don't know how you want this to come in. And so sometimes we have to really sit down with ourselves and figure out what is actually going to set us up for the most success in the moment. And sometimes it's the littlest step. And then also follow through on those steps. Those are the hardest things to do, is the following through on those steps. Okay, Crystal 100% knows she needs to drink water and not Coke. What tastes better? Coke. I don't want to drink water, but I know that for my health, I know that for my channeling, I know that for my own energy, I need to make sure that I'm staying hydrated. And so they're actually hitting on some of the health aspects of life that they've been giving to you that you're steering away from. And so when they say move, it literally can mean taking a walk. It can mean being more mobile. They're making me feel like yoga would be really good for you because they're really putting stiffness into my joints. And they're making me feel like you've been creating a stiffness. And so you've got a lot of stuff hankering up in those different energy places, and you're not moving through some of those things. And so you want those things but you're kind of not paying attention to the subtle things that they're giving you into your daily life. And that, once again, welcome to my world, my dear. They're not calling you out. This is kind of what we do as humans, because it's really difficult to understand those subtle messages that come to us, because we want the big ones on the billboard that say, hey, yeah, this one's for you. Spirit's talking to you. Those are the ones we try to pay attention to. And so when you get those little ones, pay more attention to those little ones and digest those a little bit. You are not stuck right now. They're reminding you, you're not stuck right now. You're in a space. It is a little stagnant, but it's not stagnant for a wrong reason. It's stagnant so you can really take this time to figure it out. And I love this. I don't know anything about these. I'm not a flower girl, okay? I'll tell you this. I know nothing about flowers. Do lotus flowers grow from mud?
Yeah.
Okay, they're putting you in the mud, and they're coming out like a lotus flower, and they're reminding you that the most beautiful things sometimes come from the ugliest of situations and circumstances. So have faith in yourself. Get out of that fear space that you can't, because you can. And they really want you to remember that through this journey. You can, but give them a timeline of events, please, because they're really making me feel like that's the one thing. You're talking to them. Your mind just is talking a little bit faster than what you really are understanding right now. So pull it back a little bit, sit with yourself, get yourself into a quiet space, light a candle, do something, really ground yourself, and really focus on what you need right now to refocus your energy, and then ask your team for that, and then allow them to give you those things in that way. And they're really 100% here for you. You do have a lot of changes that have taken place over the past 6 months. Like they're patting you on the back, like, good job. Because there's been a lot of changes that have flip-flopped on you, and I kind of think that you're all over the place right now because you don't know what's coming or going. But they really want you to know that you've done a great job with that, and now it's just opening up those different aspects to you and really honing in on what those processes can be. Okay, they're here for you. Keep doing what Mandee says and allow yourself to feel that love and that energy come through. You're doing a great job.
Sending loads and loads of love, Andrea. So there's several people who asked for a reading, and I know we're a little tight on time right now. We got about 10 more minutes left. Crystal has another engagement she's got to get to. So I think I'm going to try to rapid fire, do a couple real quick, like quick ones. And if you guys, if you want more time with me, check it out. SeeGoddessHealingArts.com. All of my readings are 50% off this week. You just got to type in a coupon code, which is Mandee Live. Really simple. So the first one is, I want to say Caitlin or Caitlin. Can I have a reading, please? And she also said a couple other comments.
A love reading. She wants a love reading.
A love reading. Do you see the comments? Can you read them to me?
Yep, I'm actually right here. It says, Caitlin Victoria, can I have a love reading, please? And then she says, please. And can I have some messages about love? Yeah, she wants love messages. All I saw was does want to date me, and how will the relationship be like?
Perfect. Okay. So right now you're the Queen of Pentacles. That means that you have a lot of abundance and resources and choice in what it is you want to do. This is a really nice place to be, especially when we're calling in love and suitors, because it means that our root chakra probably feels okay. We feel a little secure at this time, and it's safe to invite in something new. Then you get the 9 of Cups, which is literally a gentleman sitting in front of a bunch of cups. They're waiting to be a suitor, and it looks like things like get really exciting for you, and you start to overflow, and it feels really good. And then it ends with the Sun card. So quick in the love department, it looks like you're ready for a relationship. You're ready to call something in. They're giving green lights around the gentleman that you were asking about, and they're showing blessings on it with the sunlight. So just stay present, allow yourself to be nourished, make sure you're giving from a full cup. I'm kind of been joking around a lot lately, but like healthy relationships are like the new cool thing now. And like codependence is out, interdependence is coming in. People are doing their own shadow work, and it's really important to come in a healthy aspect. So they're sending you all the love and all the blessings, and good luck. So I'm going to move on to the next one, who is Whitney. Hi, guys. Can I have a card, please? Whitney, I'm feeling called to pull some Work Your Light for you for Whitney. Okay. Whitney's got some stuff happening right now. We're going to switch tones a little bit. Boundaries. Where can you establish better boundaries? Boundaries are our way of life. We don't realize it, but especially as women, it's how we realize where our energy is needed to be supported and where it's being siphoned. And it's really important to not say yes when you really mean no. What are you committing to? What have you gotten good at doing that you actually hate doing? What time do you need to go to bed? How much time do you need to sleep? They're showing sleep and nourishment and things like that at this time, Whitney. Really important. And just don't say yes when you really mean no. We had a conscious coach on one of our shows recently called Unschooled, Leslie Lyon. She's awesome. And she literally says at this point for her, if it's not a fuck yes, then it's a no. It's maybe if it's I'm not sure, I'll think about it, it's a no. And I've started applying that in my life a little bit, and it really helps you to tune into your own energy and your boundaries. Next one, the hot topic of the night, mirror, who or what is triggering you? Triggers are opportunities to heal. Triggers are opportunities to go deep. They're an opportunity to say, okay, where is there a disruption in my field? Why? How can I start nurturing it or plugging it in? What does little Whitney need to know at this time? What can I say to her to rock her and soothe her and let her know it's all going to be okay? So the triggers are definitely pointing to where you need better boundaries right now. Last but not least, you got Warrior Woman. This is Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc was a 14-year-old girl who led a revolution in France, and she's famous to know, or her famous quote is, "I'm not afraid, I was born to do this." So this is Warrior Woman, and it says, if you weren't afraid, what would you do? Would you be brave enough to leave that job or that relationship or that situation? Would you be brave enough to take the next steps forward and say, no, this isn't serving me anymore? You can always say, thank you so much for thinking of me. Or a big one, this is for a lot of people on this line right now. When somebody calls and they're dumping all their shit on you and you do it to them, we were talking about, we've all been Amber, we've all been Johnny, right? So somebody calls and word vomits and oh my God, I'm having the worst day ever. And this just happened and blah, 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 blah. And you're like, wow, I'm pulling into work right now. I'm supposed to have a smile on my face. Oh my gosh, I'm really upset. Some things you can do is say, hey, thank you so much for calling me. Now's not a good time. I want you to know I love you and I support you. Sending you good vibes. Can we talk on Tuesday at 4? I'll have a cup of tea. Something like that. It's really important to have direct communication when we're establishing boundaries and make it clear. And if other people don't respect it, that's okay. A couple awkward moments, bye. You need to worry about what's going on mostly with your own energy and then send love for others. Of course, don't be mean, don't be a jerk. But if some people can't understand and they're pushing you too hard, that's on them. And if they want to react on that, that's on them too. So hopefully this warrior energy sends you a little bit of love and a little bit of support, Whitney. Sophia said that she's also recently considered living in an RV and traveling with kids, and recently found out that her job may be changing and she may have to work from home anyway. And they've always loved that idea. So maybe Sophia and you can be road trip buddies.
I was I would so be on board. I'm bleh.
Tracy said, you guys have the best groupies. Heather said, you guys do the reading and I'll make the burritos. Oh, what was that? Oh, yeah. First stop. Anthony said, first stop, San Diego. Oh, I love it. We got to Caitlin. I'm sorry if I've messed that up. Luke's video. Jessica said, love that. Need to start moving things around from Jessica. Heather said, we crushed it, which was awesome. Just kind of scrolling through.
Carrie, before we go, because Carrie's awesome. Carrie says she wants, and I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to get to all of you guys today. I got to go. But Carrie says she wants a card. So we'll pull a card for Carrie and then we'll do our thing.
Carrie from the Starseed deck for Carrie. Ooh. All right. Carrie, you got karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, conflict. Anything that's conflictive right now, it's coming up to point back into yourself about how to handle conflict a little. It's not always the easiest. You've gotten really strong at it in your career and in a lot of ways. In your personal life, though, there's still a little bit of throat chakra stuff dusting off. And it's important, maybe with some old friendships, things like that, to really be honest and to just show up with love and compassion. You then got, I remember, the soul plan. Fated life versus destiny life. This is all about, we have certain things that are destined in our soul path that we were meant to cross different people at different times, learn lessons at different times. Then there's the times where we get to really choose and we get to co-create and we get to intend. And you're at this beautiful place where you get to remember just how amazing and powerful and wise you are as a soul. And you get to really start working on your co-creations and your manifestations and putting that energy and intention into the world for you. You're so good at it, especially for all the kids you work with and stuff. And then last but not least, surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life, literally drop into your sensuality as much as possible, being overstimulated with like kids yelling, things like that. Maybe go home and light some candles and relax and take a bath and play soothing music. Drop into your senses if you can, spend some time in the romantic world, maybe nourishing a relationship or starting a new one. Spend some time allowing yourself to be rocked in the sweetness and whatever that looks like. And I'm really glad that you showed up. I'm glad everyone showed up tonight. And I'm so sorry we can't get to all the comments, but we are here on Monday nights. My name is Mandee Elam. I am with Sea Goddess Healing Arts. I'm an intuitive ascension guide, basically a life coach with a spiritual twist. You got a little taste of it. Please like, share, follow, subscribe. We've got YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Sea Goddess Healing Arts. And if you want a session, all of my services are 50% off this week. Just use the coupon code called Mandee Live. Crystal, how can our people get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me at midmittenmedium.com. I am currently on hiatus until I figure out what's going on with my stuff. I kind of need a little bit more than a wall to channel for, more so just for protection. And so I think I'm going to have to get crafty with the area and learn how to get some stuff done. So you can contact me there for a reading. I also have my Spirit Speaks with Mitten Medium on YouTube. Please subscribe because that goes with what I'm wanting to do. Like, look, guys, if I can... think about it this way. There's so many people out there who are like, okay, how do I do this? How do I do this? Can't afford stuff. Well, if I could get subscribers and I could get some like people to actually pay me through YouTube that way, and you guys watch my stuff, then that would be a way that I can help you for free and you wouldn't have to pay for it. And also I like to teach people their energy, their understanding, and also teach people how to tap into their own spirit inside of them so that they can understand the spirit around them. It's a miscommunication mostly. Also, you can find me on Twitter, and I know Mandee's on Twitter also with Sea Goddess Healing Arts. Oh, I thought Sea Goddess Healing Arts was. Really?
No.
I thought Sea Goddess was. Okay, so
if
you
we
can't find her
maybe
on Twitter.
Ursula put us on there and I don't know it, but
okay, well, we'll talk about that later to make
either
sure.
way, it doesn't matter.
We don't know the others. I was like, I'm on Twitter also, and I will answer some questions, not about readings. My Twitter is more so to help you understand the spirit in you, your own empathic abilities, some of those things that we talked about, the shifts internally, stuff like those things. And that is Spirit Speaks MMM. I am so grateful that I was here. Thank you, Mandee, for lighting up my life today. I needed you, and I needed all of you just as much. I appreciate you guys so very much, and I hope you all have a magical, beautiful rest of your week.
Take care. Much love.
Thank you, guys.